morning and welcome to the City Planning Commission for the public meeting, November 13th, 2019.
Okay, we're going to start with a special review session. Jeff, you can start recording if you haven't already. The first item on the agenda for the special review session is a City Council modification for 4401 Northern Boulevard, a zoning map and zoning text amendment in Queens Community District 1. And the City Council proposes to modify the MIH options such that instead of having options 1 and 2, there is only option 1. Staff believes this is in scope. Are there any questions? No?
All righty. With regard to the council mod, it is within scope. Can we have a show of hands to send the item to the council with our approval? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Item 2 is a City Council modification scope determination for the Peninsula Hospital redevelopment. This is a zoning map and zoning text amendment, special permits and city map amendment in Queens Community District 14. Hala Sila will present.
All right, good morning, Commissioners. Today I'll be presenting on the City Council modifications for the Peninsula Hospital redevelopment. There are 4 modifications from the City Council. The first is in regards to MIH. CPC approved MIH options 1 and 2. The council modification would be to remove option 2 and just have option 1. There are 2 modifications regarding the restrictive declaration. The first to include the council member's local office as a list of parties to be notified during the implementation of the school mitigation. And the second is to mandate the sequencing of phasing. Lastly, there is a modification to reduce the maximum building height for the project. The commission approved maximum building heights up to 19 stories or 200 feet. The modification would reduce the maximum heights for 4 building segments by 1 story or 10 feet of the maximum building envelope of the large-scale plan. This would reduce units by approximately 150 units. Separately, the applicant is revising their plan to reduce dwelling units and floor area. So just to go through which portion of the plan is getting the height reduction as per the City Council modification. This is highlighted here in yellow. It's buildings A2, B2, C2, and E1. So buildings A2, C2, and E1 are going from 200 feet or 19 stories down to 190 feet or 18 stories. And building B2 will be going from 18 stories or 190 feet down to 17 stories or 180 feet. Staff believes these changes are within scope, and I will now answer any questions.
Questions? If there are no questions, could we have a show of hands to support going back to City Council? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the third and final item on our special review session agenda is a City Council modification for the East Side Coastal Resiliency zoning text amendments and acquisition in Manhattan's community districts 3 and 6. The City Council is proposing modifications that would clarify language in the text. I could specifically speak to that in that they were just adding the words East Side to a reference to the Coastal Resiliency Project. I think that they wanted to just make sure that it was very specifically only applicable to this project. And the staff believes, of course, that this is in scope.
Any questions? By show of hands, can we?
Okay.
Thank you.
And that concludes the review session.
All righty. Commissioners, I'd like us to welcome from Hunter College, looks like several students from its School of Urban Planning. Welcome. This is how it's done. At least in New York, yeah.